Hey everyone, Pupsker here, and today in Diablo 4 we're gonna go over some beginner tips and tricks to make your life a little easier when you're playing the game, starting out. Right now we're in day 2, essentially, of the early access build, so let's take a look at everything. I'm playing a Necromancer, I'm just level 28 right now, messing around, and I just want to talk about the generals that'll help you progress in the game, right? Big thing that is important to note, you can play whatever class you want and really go with whatever build you want, okay? You don't have to follow the meta unless you really want to. Anything's viably playable in this game. You'll do way more damage and progress faster in a group just because everyone's build will work off each other and like damage multipliers help a lot more, right? Things like that. But there is no need to play in a group. I myself going fully solo with a Necromancer minions build, which everyone says is terrible, but I've had no problems. I've been having fun. Maybe I'm not as fast as other people, but that's okay, right? If you want to be one of the top players, go for that. But if not, you're a-okay. So, general tips are, world tier is level 2. Your world tier, usually, the higher it is, harder things are. If you're new to the game, or if you want to progress faster, you'd want to do world tier 1. World tier 2 is harder, and enemies, you know, they do more damage, more health, drop more, right, etc., right? It's just a multiplier. But technically, you'll progress faster, and you'll get more XP an hour doing a lower world tier. Because like the gains in health and armor, like buffs to the enemies don't offset enough buffs to the XP early on. Realistically, you're still good to play World Tier 1 or World Tier 2, however you want to. And eventually once you hit, I think, level 50, you'll go up to World Tier 3 and you'll get even more loot, right? Even more. If we look at the map in general, we have collections here for aspects on like your codexes of power. These are buffs that you can put onto your gear, right? Here are all of the ones you can pre-farm, and this essentially just gives buffs to gear, like I said before. You can very quickly see these. You have to complete dungeons to unlock them, and these are the 2 I've unlocked so far, just because I'm not doing this until later. But, you know, after Decompose spawns a corpse, gain 10 essence, right? That's a pretty good passive. You can throw these, I believe, on lower tier gear, because legendaries and whatnot already have that, but yeah, so collect those as you go along. Throughout the entire map, there are pop-ups for like notification type things everywhere. You can see in the very top there, it at least tells you how much you've unlocked. So if I look in the very top, I see 5 out of 7. I've done 1 out of 3 strongholds. I've done 7 out of 35 side quests. I'm leaving those until endgame. I've done 40 of these areas, 1 dungeon, and I have 0 statues of Lilith in like this area up here. I'm jumping between the 2 because I'm bad. You'll 100% want to do all of this eventually because it's account wide. If we look here, we can see the region progress, and as you can see, claimed by each character, unlocked for all realms, and then requires unlocking world tier 3. The TLDR is you'll have stuff that you'll want to claim on every character, and you'll have stuff that'll claim for every character. So you don't have to go and look around on every single character to complete 100% of the world, right? You only really need to do it on one person, and you 100% should do it because you unlock skill points, you unlock paragon points for every single area. It's kind of the same, right? Unlock areas, renown value, right? Side dungeons, altars of Lilith, side quests, strongholds, and waypoints. You'll want to do them all. I'm just doing the main quest for now, but yeah, you'll want to do it all. You'll get more potion capacity, and you'll get more skill points, which is ridiculously good and exactly what you need. You'll also get XP and gold, right? So no matter what, that'll help you. You can only have 20 side quests at once, so keep that in mind. You cannot hold every single side quest everywhere. Side quests will only show up if you're in the area generally. So I'm in this area close to this one, so this is showing up. If I go to this area over here and there's a side quest, it'll show up in this general area where it's outlined, okay? So it usually doesn't show side quests in areas you're not in. So yeah, it's just important to keep in mind, you do have to be close to the side quests in order to actually see where they are, in order to pick them up. right? So that's fun. They're not auto-generated or infinite. There's a certain amount. See, in the first area, there's 35. In this area, there's 47. Over here, there's more. Over here, there's more. I just haven't unlocked these areas as they're more end game, higher level when you're done the main story. So that's how the generals of the map works, the generals of the collection. You'll just want to get all of these eventually to make your other builds easier. Socials and clans are cool. You can join clan. Feel free to join my clan if you want. But right now, clans do not have any sort of progression system or actual increase in loot of anything, right? Clans are just social hubs for now, to hang out with people, talk with people, and stuff, right? The shop is not pay to win. There's nothing other than skins there, so no need to buy anything in there. So that's the general of that. You can equip however you feel like. I would always recommend you have a consumable elixir going, right? Because if you look and read at the consumables, experience gained by 5% increase for 30 minutes, right? It's an XP multiplier, so always try to have a consumable going. Buy the Whispering Keys and buy loot over here at Lizveth, the Purveyor of Curiosities. She is where you hand in your Obel's Curiosity Vendor resource, and essentially you can just buy loot from her, or you can buy some of these Whispering Keys, which unlock chests, silent chests, which are just around the area, okay? So that's just all good to know. This is where your quest items go, and these are where aspects go. You can break down legendary equipment over at I think it's over here at Damien, the Occultist, in order to get aspects. What aspects are exactly what they are here. Instead of taking it from this book, you can take it directly from a legendary item, and I believe it's just a little stronger in that regard. But that's more of an end game, later game thing anyways. You're not going to really care too much early game, but you know, it's just pretty important in keeping to keep that in mind. The world tiers in Diablo 4, I believe, increase at level 50 to World Tier 3, 75 to World Tier 4, and then maybe at level 100 you can hit World Tier 5. And I believe the aspects during each world tier only stay within that world tier. So it's like World Tier 3 aspects can't go on World Tier 4 type gear, right? So if you're going to break down legendary gear early on in order to create aspects and keep them in your inventory, you'll definitely want to use them sooner rather than later, because once you get to a higher world tier and start getting better armor, you can't make use of those old aspects anymore, and they're just garbo pretty much, I believe. So keep that in mind, because that's how the Occultist generally here works, right? You throw off an item, right? Extract that item, and then it aspect previews. I don't have any legendaries on me because it doesn't matter, and I'm weak as hell, and I'm early game. You can also enchant stuff, and this is how you swap out little things right there, and you can imprint the aspect. This is what we were talking about earlier, right? From your Codex of Power here. So I could throw on my after decompose spawns a corpse, and then it makes it a legendary because legendaries have the imprints, right? Hopefully that makes sense to you. And then once I get this imprint, then I could technically extract the aspect, but that wouldn't make any sense. So yeah, just make sure to use your stuff whenever you have it, and you should be good to go. All side quests look like they do level up with you, so you're not in any rush to do side quests, right? You can do them all later and get experience later on. That's what I'm doing, and that's what I would recommend everybody else also does, right? If you want to know where everything is on the maps in regards to here, like all the collection stuff, you're best looking up online any sort of like Diablo 4 map checkpoints or Diablo 4 map quest, or sorry, map guide, or fully unlocked map. There's tons of them. Just look for, you know, Diablo 4 all Altar of Lilith locations, Diablo 4 all map locations, right? And you'll very quickly find a good website, okay? The Google machine, as we call it. Bing sucks. Google, though, as always, is still pretty good in that regard, so hope that helps there. You will want to upgrade your healing potions every 10 levels, right? Down here at the Alchemist is where you go in order to create and get upgraded potions. This is where you'll get your horse and stuff. At a higher level, you will unlock your horse. It's fine. Don't worry about it. I think around level 35 to 40, you'll unlock the horse. I have some horse cosmetics. Oh, dear God, that is terrifying. Yeah. But you'll unlock it later, around level 35 to 40. So you will get your horse eventually, and that'll be a good movement speed increase. So don't worry about it early on. It will happen in due time. You do go to the Potion Master once or twice, and there is a little tutorial, but remember, every 10, 15, etc. levels, upgrade your healing potion level, right? Do that. Remember to craft elixirs and use the elixirs, okay? And then you'll get EXP, and then you'll be good to go, right? 100%, you will be then set. So that's the nice thing about there. Healer heals you. Purveyor of Curiosities does that. Let's quickly talk about all of the blacksmiths. Blacksmithing, very simple in the game, right? Very simple. You just talk to them, you just break everything down, and then you get resources to repair and upgrade your weapons and armor. Throw it in there, right? There's the resources. It'll do more damage. You'll be good to go. So remember to upgrade your gear occasionally if you want to do more damage, but early on it won't matter as much because you're constantly cycling gear in and out. When you're early game, you just want to constantly cycle out old stuff for new stuff with higher numbers. Don't spend too much time looking at the individual stats. Just look at, is the armor number higher? Is the item level higher? Does it do more damage? And that's probably all you really need to do. These are just armor vendors, and right, you can sell items to them for gold. That'll be your best way to get gold early on if you need it. Other than that, you don't really need to talk to a lot of vendors. Here is where your wardrobe is and your stash. That's where you can put all your stuff that you don't want to carry on you. Wardrobe is where you put all of your cosmetics, right? And then you can throw them on, take them off, etc., etc. Lastly, we have the gem lady. Aha. Here is where you go to upgrade gems. And what you do with gems is quite simply read them, put them on your gear when there's gem slots. You can unsocket gear, right? You can unsocket it. You can add sockets to gear. And you can upgrade jewelry, right? Look at that. That's where you go to upgrade your jewelry instead of like the armor smith, right? But that is all my general tips and tricks for any beginners in Diablo. Let me know if it helped. If it didn't, I cry every Tim. But if it did, hey, if you have any other tips you'd like to include, throw them down below. You will definitely unlock everything, okay? You will definitely unlock it all in time when you go over it. And the game does explain every system as it unlocks it, such as Paragon points, your abilities, your Paragon tree. You'll see later on. But yeah, you can take off and increase your skill tree at will. It just, you know, if you look there, it costs gold at the moment. It costs 71 gold. That'll go up as you level. So try to find a build you like, but don't be super set in stone on your build, because like I can swap my build out 50 times right now if I felt like it. So yeah, either way, hope it helped. Sub, like, favorite. I'm gonna randomly be streaming and making more Diablo videos, Warframe, Wayfinder, maybe Final Fantasy. I don't have a life, so we'll just do a lot of that. So yeah, thank you.